Okay, so my exercise, but you're welcome to join in. Yes, did a lot of Tai Chi yesterday, did about 3.5 hours of Tai Chi, I think, yesterday. Put about 2.5 today. Some teaching, some personal practice, various bits and pieces, and then some other business stuff. And my swim will be later today. All good stuff. I hope you're having a lovely day. So, legs relaxed, knees softened or knees bent, whichever way you care to describe it. Turning the waist, letting the arms float around the body. If you can breathe in and out through your nose, that's preferred. One of these days I'll give the explanation for why, but not today. Arms come up, drop them down. Bring them up, drop them down. As you drop them, sink the weight from one side to the other. You may notice I'm putting a little extra pause at the top. Like most exercises, lots of variations possible. The little pause just helps you relax and release, whereas if you do it this way, which you will see people doing, and it's perfectly valid, I hasten to add, you tend to be using the muscles to bring the arms down, whereas what you want to do, or one of the things you want to do in Tai Chi, is learn to spontaneously relax and gently circle the arms, bending the knees, bending the spine ever so slightly. Maybe it's just worth just showing what it looks like from the side. Change direction with the arms. now. Don't worry so much about bending the spine and back. Just work the waist. Have the arms rotate in opposite circles if you can. I apologise for the external noise if the microphone's picking that up. People are obviously earning a living out there. Opposite direction. Tuck the elbows into the sides of the body, lifting the hands, clenching the fists, raising the legs straight in front of the leg raises for the moment. And diagonal arm and leg raises. Switch to opposite hand and leg. Double lift, same hand and leg, same side. Opposite side. slightly more than, sorry, itchy nose, slightly more than shoulder width, but just slightly. Legs relaxed, circling the hips. If hopefully you watch and join in with these little broadcasts, streams, I believe, change direction. Streams is the modern word. If you join in or watch them regularly, you will soon notice that there are some exercises that I do regularly. Indeed, some exercise routines, sometimes I'll follow a sort of a more fixed routine for a number of days or weeks. Change direction, try and make the circle bigger. Other days, weeks, months, I will do different exercises, but you will see, coming back to my original thought, you will see there are some exercises that are almost always included. Rotations like this being one that most days change direction. Most days. Foundational exercises, if you like to think of them like that. Important exercises. Gentle leg raises, first one leg, then the other. Only as high as you comfortably can. So if it's like that, or like that, or like that, it's entirely up to you. Nice and gentle. Out to the side, out to the other side. I have an overwhelming desire when I do this exercise to go tick, tock, tick, tock. But probably most of you have got digital watches and clocks, so you have no idea what I'm talking about. Gently backwards. Most people are more flexible forwards and sideways. You can cheat by increasing the depth of the bend, but it's better to keep the body fairly upright and just make the kick backwards as gentle, the lift of the leg backwards a gentle one. To finish off those, do some more hip circles. If you're young and fit, you can do those kind of leg exercises for a lot longer and you probably won't need the hip circles. I'm going to switch direction. If you're older and the lower back is beginning to notice its age, circle the shoulders. Soften the legs at the knee. I let my knees bend a little bit. Change direction. change direction. If you've been doing exercise with me before, you may know that sometimes I do opposite rotations with the shoulders, but sometimes I'll keep just rotating either forwards or backwards, slowing it down slightly just so I can concentrate on getting my shoulders to go through a greater range of motion, changing direction. Feet slightly wider, gently tilting side to side. Going to do this for a minute, which is 2 dings as it were, and then I'm going to do a slightly more advanced variation. When I do that, please pay attention to how I come out of the stretch. Here we're just going straight down and then back up the same way. With the more advanced version, which I'll be doing quite a bit slower, you go down to the side and then come out to the front. You'll see when I do it, I'm just going to step back a little bit, actually make it easier when we get to that second variation. So the arm goes over, you hold the stretch, come out to the front, straighten up, other arm goes over, hold the stretch, out to the front, side, hold, turn to the front to release the pressure off the muscles gently. Again, I've got the issue with slippy shoes, so you'll see me adjust my feet inwards from time to time. Turning the feet out, bending so the knees stay in line with the feet, gentle little squats, opening the quad in Chinese terms. Now I'm going to go gently to one side, gently to the other. I don't want my knee to go beyond the toe ideally, so because I can go a bit further, I'm going to stretch the legs out. I'm going to turn the feet forwards, just sit down and come up. Sit down, come up. The feet are slippy sliding, which obviously means the muscles in the leg need to do different things. Now I'm just going to turn to one side and just do a gentle stretch. I used to be super flexible, but then I damaged my knee, and since then haven't worried too much about flexibility. Changing sides, by the way. feet in, touching the floor, bending backwards. Touching the floor, bending backwards. Sometimes you'll see me do it with the fingers interlaced. Other times I just prefer to see if I can get my hands flat on the floor in front of me. If you can't, don't worry about it. Some people are flexible, some aren't. Some of us are flexible in one direction or one domain and not another. You can probably figure out for yourselves that my waist and lower spine is probably more flexible currently than my legs are. Tai Chi teaches you be happy with who you are. You can work to improve, that's good and sensible, but you should like, nay, love who you are. Gentle upper body rotations, trying to keep the lower body stable. Change direction. Again, I sometimes do a variation with much deeper fold forwards. Going to do a slightly different variation using the arms. So the arms circle round. Fairly slow, keep control of what you're doing. Direction. Stepping in, rotating the hands. Nice and slow, not a race. Trying to get as full a range of motion in the rotation as possible. Feet hip width apart, facing forwards, knees softened, legs relaxed, ever so slightly sitting backwards. Change direction. same direction. After this, I'm going to do some more wrist exercises. I'm going to drop into teaching mode a little bit to explain how they're done. I'm also going to ignore the timer because I want to do it slowly and thoroughly for my own benefit and obviously for the benefit of anybody who happens to be watching. Okay, take a hand. Let the elbow hang down, let the fingers hang down. Put the other hand over the top. Push the lower hand, as it were, that one, towards the elbow. Straining and hopefully strengthening the wrist. All these exercises, there are 4 of them, should be uncomfortable but not painful. So you should feel it putting pressure on it. As I say, I'm not paying any attention to the timer, I'm just listening to my own body. Gently, slowly relax, bend the other hand, keeping the elbow down, put your hand on top, push the hand towards the elbow. These exercises, the 4 that we're doing, actually predate, I think, my involvement with Tai Chi. It goes back to when I was 17, which would be 51 years ago, or 50 years ago, so maybe it was 18. And I used to do rock climbing, and they were for strengthening the wrist. Gently relax and release. Go to the other side. Putting the finger out is slightly idiosyncratic. It's something I do. You can use all the fingers or just a few of them. Now I'm pressing down and inwards. Sorry, I let go quickly there. You shouldn't do that. Now I'm pressing down and inwards a little bit more forcibly. It's uncomfortable. It should be slightly uncomfortable. You are trying to stretch the ligaments, I believe. I think that's the bits that you're working on here. Relax gently, go to the other side. I used to be a lot more flexible in pretty much every domain. Wrist exercises like this come, as it were, hand in hand with wrist controls. There are wrist locks that are like this. And when I was 19 or 20, I was guest for a day at Aldershot, the army training base, and one of their instructors put me into what was their sort of preferred lock, which was a bit like this. And I was like, so what? He was like, whoa, you've got flexible wrists. But I was young. Next exercise, turn the hand palm up, put the other hand over it. So one palm up, the other over with the thumb on the back. Push the hand out, straighten the arm, which is something we don't normally do in Tai Chi, and then pull the fingers back again towards the elbow, so you can see it stretching the arm, stretching the wrist. Again, I'm trying to relax the legs, sit back ever so slightly, so the lower body is doing a little bit of exercise too. There are a number of variations of these exercises, but I'm just going for fairly straightforward ones today. And then relax gently, other hand straight out, fingers over, thumb at the back, pull back towards you. Oh, and don't worry if your arm bends that way a little or a lot, unless you're hypermobile, in which case you probably shouldn't be doing these exercises. I used to train in karate with somebody who was hypermobile, and what they could do with their joints was really, oh, it was really scary. Very, very sort of super flexible. Again, this is uncomfortable. I'm going to relax gently, switch to the other side, push out, pull the fingers back, pulling back a little bit more than I did the previous time. There's discomfort in the fingers, in the wrist, actually in the thumb as well. Tiny bit of discomfort in the elbow, and surprisingly, I don't normally get that, but surprisingly there's some tension and discomfort in the shoulder as well. So obviously doing this is making a variety of parts of the body have to adjust. And that's what exercise is about, really, isn't it? It's getting the body to adjust. Just going to turn slightly that way. Okay, I'm going to relax off. Do the other hand. These stretching exercises you can't do quickly. They have to be done slowly, progressively, and probably, if I'm completely honest, far more regularly than I normally do them these days. Part of the problem with exercises, especially as you develop, is there's so many of them. You could spend all day, every day exercising, and it would probably be weeks and weeks and weeks, if not longer, before you ran out of exercises and variations thereon. And relax, give the hands a shake. That's 2 of 4. Next one, turn the hand so it's a sort of curvy shape with the thumb down. Put the other hand so that the fingers are pointing down and the thumb comes over the top. Push the hand in towards the elbow. That's not too bad, it's the next bit. Twist the fingers up, and it's there, that combination of pushing in towards the elbow and twisting up, that should make your wrist go, ooh. Might make it go a lot more than just, might make it go, but obviously don't rip your own hand off, that would be counterproductive. I have met people whose fingers can go all the way up to the ceiling here. I certainly used to be able to go a little bit higher than that, but as I said before, we are what we are, and that's what we should be happy with. Gently release. Other hand, bend, thumb down. Other hand, fingers down, thumb on top. Push the hand in towards the elbow, turn the fingers up. Now, I'm right-handed, and that means that the muscles in my right hand and arm are a little bit stronger than the ones in the left, which which strangely means when you're doing this exercise, there's a tiny bit more flexibility in the left hand. So I think, very subjective, not objective, but I think I've been able to twist the fingers further up towards the ceiling on my weaker side. And relax, give them a shake, go back to the other hand, thumb down, thumb on top, push in, twist up. Trying to increase the push in a little bit, then increase the twist up a little bit. was a moment there when I really wanted to stop. Okay, I've done enough. And sometimes when the body tells you, okay, you've done enough, you listen to the body. Sometimes, like today, you kind of go, no, in the long run it will be beneficial if we do a bit more. Relax very gently. Other hand, thumb down, thumb on top, push in, twist up. And relax. That one should have been quite intense. The last one, if anybody has done any of the Japanese arts, jiu-jitsu, whatever, you'll know it's kotegaku. Kido people will know it as well. Turn your hand up so that the palm of your hand is facing sort of past the shoulder. Put the thumb of the other hand on the back, bring the fingers round, so you're kind of like you're grabbing hold of your thumb, but bring the fingers round into the fleshy part, sorry I'm trying to get a good camera angle, fleshy part of the hand. Then push the hand towards the elbow, but twist the hand to the front. Twist and push. Again, I'm softening the knees, bending the legs. I want the legs to exercise two as well. Not two as in 1, 2, or two as in they took him to the loony bin. We don't want that last one. Gently relax. Palm facing shoulder, thumb in the back, fingers in the front, bend it down, twist it forwards. Releasing slowly. Other side, thumb at the back, fingers to the meaty part, turn, twist. Hard to say which will be the most uncomfortable. Different people's wrists flex in different ways, but suffice it to say that all of them should be uncomfortable. If they're not uncomfortable, you're not stretching the wrist. We'll relax and we'll do the other hand. Again, I said all the fingers in there, but I can control my own hand with a couple of fingers in there. If I put all the fingers in there, the little finger gets in the way of the fold of the wrist. So I end up not putting as much pressure as I want. And relax. And gently wiggle woggle, technical term there, wiggle woggle the arms. And gently up and down. And side to side. Go to rotations. Nice, gentle rotations. Change direction. And in a few seconds, I'm looking at the timer. In a few seconds we're going to go back to listening to the timer. So, taking the head side to side. Trying to look as far behind as I can. So it's not only the neck and head moving, the eyes look in the direction. You use your eyes to stretch the head, as it were. What you can see indicates if you're stretching a little bit further. Bring the hands up, chin to chest and back. I say chin to chest, I concentrate on sort of tucking the chin in, so it doesn't always actually touch the chest, but it does stretch out the muscles on the back of the neck. Ear to ceiling, looking, so I'm just going to adjust to look straight towards the camera. The camera's at a little bit of an angle, so it makes it a bit confusing. If I look at the camera, then the room looks slightly sort of out, and if I look straight ahead, which I'm doing now, then I look a little bit skew with. Ear up to ceiling. Head forwards and backwards, tucking the chin in as you come back. I kind of want to make chicken clucking noises, but I'll try and avoid doing that. No, I will avoid. I don't think they're very good chicken noises anyway. Head side to side. I was describing this exercise to a class, I think it was yesterday, and I sort of said I imagine like a pole, that's, my ears are sort of sliding along a pole, so you try and get the head sliding from side to side. Very easy for some people to do this, very difficult for others. Just do the best you can. And certainly over time, I've been doing this exercise for slightly over a year. It was introduced to me, I think about a year ago. my range of motion side to side of my head has improved. Tuck the chin down, roll the head side to side. Arms down to the side, head slowly in a big U shape. Relax, give yourselves a little shake. Let me think. We can do a sort of a formal salutey thing if you like. Right hand makes fist, left hand comes on top. Everybody thanks everybody in a class situation. Here, I thank you. Hopefully there will be an exercise session tomorrow. Might be a little bit earlier tomorrow. Not quite sure on my schedule for the weekend. There will also later today, if all things go according to plan, be a short free Tai Chi session that I'll broadcast live, going over a few moves from our very first form, which is called the 8-move 1-step form, but I'd also like to introduce a few moves from one of our very advanced forms, a thing called the 4 Winds form, because I think it'd be interesting to share with you. Thank you. See you soon.